more to speak about. So all of this is sort of under one parasol, but there are multiple figures and they're all related beneath it. Like this sort of is all, yeah, I have a few things to talk about, but I've just been having some thoughts. But yeah, so I do want to say I do believe there is a loneliness epidemic. Stick with me, okay? I feel that this loneliness epidemic reaches all genders. I think it's pretty easy to see, and in a weird way, um, it almost seems as it's by design. But yeah, some people call, modern United States times and everything late stage capitalism. It's really a super specific sort of just what we have here, the huge wealth gap. I think they say, what is it, like 60%? Over half of people here live paycheck to paycheck, meaning, oh, gotta wait to get paid before I do this. Like, when you're already at that point, you're going to have less time to socialize. Now, me, I'm a little bit different. I don't want to give myself too much crap, but I recognize that I'm weird. I don't want to change for anybody. I love being me. But again, I'm not for everyone. That's okay. And with the loneliness, I will say the loneliness is one of the more difficult things. It's interesting because we're multifaceted. I so cherish my solitude, and I need times to. It's that weird. You've seen that meme, right? I think it's like a cat. It's like with a cat. It's probably with multiple things, but it's like having simultaneously being like I'm lonely and being like I need my space. Very, we're interesting. But yeah, like that's one of the more difficult things to face with myself is that feeling of, well, I mean, again, I've also lost some of my closest friends. There are difficult things that happen that make it sting that much more and everything. But yeah, I mean, I've also another thing that not only 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck in the United States, but even outside all over the world, it's said that probably around 50% of people have a mental illness. Different things are, and beyond that, now downer stuff, but so there's literally forever chemicals, carcinogens in all rainwater now. There are microplastics in the most untouched, so called untouched areas of the Arctic. Like, our ways of living have reached and done a ton of damage. We're going to see more types of mental struggle and physical struggle. I've had a little bit of everything, and I have had really difficult times with, you know, mental struggles and serious anxiety and stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit more unique. I'm not trying to complain that much. Again, I try to really cherish what I have and all the good. I'm not trying to complain too much, but I like, it's okay to let that out and be like, it's weird to be so weird and to have so much anxiety in times that you're not feeling well and also be lonely in different things. You know, I'll still say that is very true. Overall, I'm doing very well, and I will continue to, it's just, that's there underneath. We all have that stuff. It's difficult when, people all over the world, regardless of, you know, this form of wealth inequality and stuff, people have mental health struggles, some people have trauma, some people have that to where it's like a simultaneous, like, this place scares me. People scare me. But I know there are good people out there and I would like to have friends, sort of thing. And that's all genders. So I think it's really easy to see. It's like this is just happening. And also paired with, you know, there's no utopia, but, you know, let me go back a little bit. Let me rewind a little bit. Um, yeah, like in the United States, I'm not trying to say it's so terrible and everything, but like with some changes, we could have some really nice stuff happen. You know, there is darkness and there is struggle, you know, and of course, there are places all over the world where people struggle seriously bad. There are things going on, but again, I don't think it's selfish to focus on everyone. I don't think it's selfish to be like, hey, there is a system in place that is making people struggle in all sorts of ways, and it's all like tied together. We need to have everyone be free and feel well. But yeah, and there are people, it's not, this happens whether or not, well, what I want to say is also, I think it's tied into, you know, you think of social media, you think of the ease of just having this catalog of all sorts of things to do. It's like we're only human, and I am one of those people. I'm sort of like a geek with things because there is art out there that I love to experience, and I'm always interested in more storytelling and more, you know, experiences like that. So it's like when you do get the money, sometimes you're gonna spend it on stuff that is a part of this, you know, the way, and it's, yeah, again, we're all in it. But the thing is, that's not the only thing, you know, it's yin and yang. It's awesome to meet people online. We're all connected because of this. I would rather have, you know, social media than not have it. And I really cherish, you know, meeting people that are like-minded that have the same interest as me in this way. It's very interesting talking about these things and like all these problems, but being like, well, you know, I'm doing these things that sort of help it stay going and everything. But even people, I've seen people that, you know, adopt this sort of like cynic philosophy and stuff, and very minimalistic. Just like maybe some people just have like a bed in their house and they just make music and sleep and eat and stuff. Very simple stuff. Like try to stay off of a whole bunch of movies and all sorts of stuff, and that's fine. But that's like, that's not me. But even those people, I hear people speaking about being lonely. It's like I don't know all of the root causes, but what I've explained makes sense in my own view, and everything like that does make sense when you think about it. I mean, very simply put, like when you're struggling just to get groceries or, you know, gas and like all these things and everything, and I'm very lucky. It's a combination of things. I've had family members that struggle and everything. I live in a house, you know, we all share one car, but we all also have trauma, mental illness, things that, you know, keep us from. It's very interesting, not just trying to understand neurotypicals and stuff. It's like, or people that have like zero disability, zero anything, like physical, mental, just very, you know, everybody has struggles. I'm not trying to downplay any of that. Like, even if you don't have all the different things that I have, or any given person, again, I'm very, I see things pretty bright and everything for me, and I think that I have it good, and I don't want to complain too much. And but again, yeah, it's natural too. Yeah, everyone has issues. So many people, again, more than half of everyone has a mental illness, and more than half of everyone in the United States is living paycheck to paycheck. It's just some things need to change. And no, again, like I'm not saying like, oh, we shouldn't have Instagram. It's like, dude, it's helped me so much. Like, sure, it's sort of, I'm on it a lot, so it keeps me from meeting people in real life. But it's like, if I didn't have that, I'm still so off-putting and awkward and stuff. I don't think I'd be meeting many people in real life anyway. Plus the social anxiety and autism. I don't like loud, busy, bright places. I have enough of that. I get my maximum amount going to work. Um, so really, like, it's great for me. I'm very happy with so much stuff is like Death Stranding. It's interesting. Like my friend, I thought about it. Like my friend suggested this delivering food and stuff, and it was during the pandemic, so it all sort of ties together. And then, you know, Hideo Kojima, he's there on Instagram and social media a lot. Spoken, you know, very. fondly of human connection and technology increases and stuff. And I do see that. I do think it's a mixed thing, but I do see, like, I'm so grateful for people, like-minded people meeting online. There's so much cool stuff, like, for real. But so more is just the struggles. It's more like financial struggles, mental struggles, different things. And again, this is all genders. I've seen it. I've seen all sorts of people talk about this. And I don't know, there are, again, no matter where you go, there are struggles. And they're valid. I don't want to hear anybody be like, "Oh, this is nothing compared to here." It's like humans naturally crave human interaction. It's very interesting now that we're not like villages of people and stuff, working together to. It's so interesting. Things become easier to do, things become easier to obtain, but because of that, there's more struggle in other ways. It's just no matter how you look at it, no matter how things operate, there's going to be some sort of struggle. And certain struggles we should cherish and be like, this is a natural part of life, and we'll almost see the good in it. But there's only so much of that. We need, yeah, we need, compassion and stuff. So, like, yeah, we should really be kind to one another. And I just see that. Sometimes I do see that. It can be really nasty. Somebody, maybe an autistic dude or something, is talking about his loneliness and everything. Again, it can be any gender, but sometimes I see the word incel thrown around when it's like, seriously, this person is quite obviously a feminist, and like, this person is a leftist, and like all these things, like fighting for, the right things for all sorts of people to have good times. Like, when somebody says that, should not be the first thing that somebody thinks of. Oh, that's creepy. Oh, you're opening up about loneliness and everything. Unless the person actually is being a nasty person, speaking about, hatred and, being owed whatever and all sorts of stuff. It's like, no, dude. This is so many of us, and there are so many nice people. It's just like, if we listen to one another, I think even some people that have strange and nasty opinions, I think sometimes it can be a facade. I think it can be like a smokescreen, or no, it's just, that's not the right word, but like a front for something else. Like, it's like, this person is hurting, And as long as different people aren't trying to be bullies, just don't bully one another, Don't be really nasty to one another. If this person isn't out there, just constant, I get it. There are trolls, there are really nasty people that hate on women and stuff online, just saying gross stuff. But like, I'm just saying, to simply put, like, wow, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in this rut and I'm lonely and everything. It's so many of us. It's just some people don't want to talk about it. And I think that's part of why you do see that being labeled. Like, sometimes it's, oh, there's a male loneliness epidemic. I think, yeah, it goes with these cultural expectations, these norms and everything, where it's everybody. There are people of all genders that uphold them. There are men that are like, oh, I want my woman to be like this and be this feminine trait and everything. And there are women that are like, oh, I want my man to be really manly and no beta shit or anything. Like, but a lot of times it's just the single person that needs to get out of their own head, really analyze themselves and be like, all that. But yeah, I think this affects so many people, and so many people struggle in different ways, and we should just really try to listen. Because, there are all sorts of different struggles across the world and everything. Anyway, I hope you feel well off, and you deserve to love.